Hi everyone, welcome once again to my podcast You, Me and Tech. In this podcast, I'll starting a new episode with a new video web series. So previously, I've talked in to you guys in the pure podcast with the help of a audio series, but this is the first episode of a video series. So in this podcast, my topic of this podcast is quantum physics and its applications in the field of quantum cryptography. So first I will introduce the phenomena, what is quantum physics, and then I'll further talk about how this phenomena can be applicable to a very interesting application of quantum cryptography. So stay with me, and I'll definitely give you very interesting perspectives about quantum physics, and surely its application is very interesting, quantum cryptography. So let's start with a very basic question: what is quantum physics? Thing that the study of anything, any matter or any energy in quantum realm is quantum physics. But the again question comes is, what is quantum realm? So quantum reality is something which cannot be studied with the help of classical physics. So think about all those things that can be studied in classical physics, like motion of a car, like motion of planets, like motion of big planetary objects, and all the Newtonian physics, all the laws of Newton, electromagnetic theory, Max Planck equation on electromagnetic theory, all the discovery that happened between 1600 to 1900 naturally comes under classical physics. And after 1900, I would say classical physics started to show some flaws. Whenever the classical physics was failing, so scientists was worried, like how the things can be explained in this perspective. So then the failure of classical physics led scientists to think about some other phenomena that can explain all these observations. So that was the basic thinking point where all the studies for the quantum physics started. So now my first question comes up. It's a very basic question. So what this world is made up of? We have seen in our previous study, when we studied in our college, like uh, everything that we human can observe with our human senses are made up of an atom. An atom is further can be divided into three subparticles. You may be very well aware of that: electron, proton, and neutron. And now the further study suggests that an electron is further divisible into quarks. A quark cannot exist on its own, and a pair of quarks can exist. So electron can be further divided into quarks. There are some other interesting particles like mesons, muons, bosons, and the Higgs boson study suggests that all existence of all these particles comes naturally. So all these particles do exist. Okay, and the next thing is electromagnetic field. So electromagnetic fields are not just the force fields like the gravity. We can observe their influence. Actually, they carry energy in some cases. Like if you see electromagnetic wave in the light spectrum, in a visible spectrum, so light wave, I would say that. And light waves do carry energy. We all know sunlight carry energy to us. And light wave is made up of photons. We have studied this concept that light energy is made up of photons, and photons can be of dual nature. That's a very interesting verbal dance that books these days on quantum physics do, that a photon is a wave as well as a particle. But isn't it I mean, it's totally for people like us, how can something be realized as both? A photon can be a wave and as a particle. How something, we cannot define what something is. How we are saying that a photon exists if we cannot say it is a particle, or if we cannot say if it's a wave? So that is something interesting about quantum physics. So this interests me a lot to know what a photon is, and All these things about the mysteries of quantum physics make the study of quantum physics much more interesting. So stay with me, and I'll introduce all the concepts, how a photon can be defined in the language of a quantum scientists, how they define a photon. They don't have any ambiguity in defining photons, and they are very familiar with this concept. So I want to give a very practical example. So you guys might have done some photography on your mobile phone cameras, or other external cameras. So sometimes when the visibility is low and when the light is low around you, and you may see some grainy pictures in your camera, you can see some grainy pixels, some noise you can see in your cameras. So what is the reason for this noise that comes in the camera? Because a camera sensor is a unique, uniformly distributed array of dots, of pixels, which can capture the light. The camera's lens is very uniform, but still there are some grainy pixels comes in the your photo when the photo is taken in a low light condition. So what we if we try to explain this nature with the help of light as a wave. So if light is a wave, then light will spread continuously, and if light is low and photo sensor, photo camera is not able to capture the light, then all the pixels should be black. Why there is difference between that pixels intensity? Like why certain pixels are only not showing up and certain pixels are clear enough? Why is that ambiguity? So scientists explain to uh, try to explain this ambiguity uh, with the help of this concept, like a photon can be a wave. A photon can be a wave, but the energy of an electromagnetic wave exists in certain steps of quanta, that a certain amount of energy can only be extracted and can only be given to the electromagnetic waves. Any continuous number, any continuous amount of energy cannot be extracted. It's in multiples of certain uh, amount, which is called quanta, a photon. So this is the basic concept that we can understand from this example. Now further, let's see what will happen if we what that means in quantum physics. If I'll try to give you an exact definition, so that means is light behaves as a electromagnetic wave, but it contains energy. It means like light is not composed of photons. In certain situations, light behaves as if it is composed of photons. Okay. uh, I hope I'll be clear enough to explain what is the concept of quanta, what is the concept of photon. So can we distinguish can we separate a single photon from the electromagnetic wave? Can we extract the photon amount of energy from the electromagnetic wave? Yes, it is very possible that we can create, or we can generate or separate this one photon amount of energy from electromagnetic waves. So creating a single photon is very much possible. Okay. To introduce, so I have introduced some basic phenomena of quantum physics. A single photon concept, what is a photon, dual nature of photon. Now I'll try to show you some difficulties, that some complexities of quantum physics with the help of example. So you might have heard of a half silvered mirror. What is a half silvered mirror? A half silvered mirror is something which reflects as well as refracts the lights. So that is it can transmit the light as well as half of the light it will reflect. So you might have seen your goggles, sunlight goggles that you usually wear. They are silvered, half silvered. So you may see clearly, but the intensity of light around you will be dimmed. So that is the concept of a half silvered mirror. So when certain amount of energy falls onto that half silvered mirror, so it reflects half the amount and it let half the amount to pass through it. So that is a half silver mirror. Suppose if we are able to extract a single photon, and we will transmit will make that single photon fall into a half silver mirror. What will happen in that scenario? A half silver mirror reflects half the photon and half the transmits half the photon. But there is for we cannot divide a photon further into two halves. It's a basic quantity and it can be dealt as a whole. So what will happen in that case when we made a single photon fall onto the half silver mirror? If we have a detector on both side of the mirror, that is to detect a reflected photon and a refracted photon, both the photons, we will observe that either of the detectors will either of the detector will observe the photon, but not both, and we cannot say correctly that which photon is going to detect the photon. That is the ambiguity. Uh, that is the ambiguity we are going to observe in quantum. So is it that photons arrived on the mirror and just randomly made a choice that it will go through, that will get reflected? What happens at the point where a photon is falling on a mirror? So if I'll try to explain this phenomena in the language of, is the physics behind it, what is the situation happening here? So according to quantum physics, light wave which is falling onto the half silver mirror, detected by both the detectors, but only one of them has the enough amount of energy, one photon of energy, to light up the detector. So wave nature of the energy wave nature of the EM waves was detected at both the detectors. So wave got split and detected at both the detectors, that is after the mirror, which is there is a detector, and before the mirror there was a detector. So at both the detectors EM light waves fall, but only one has enough energy to lighten up the detector. Okay, and that amount of energy is called a photon amount of energy. So now it is as we have seen more discussion about the wave nature and particle nature. Now we are confident and we are comfortable enough to say that a particle that a light contains a photon amount of energy. Light is not a particle, but it contains a photon amount of energy. Einstein hypothesized the same, and Einstein received this Nobel Prize for this theory only. And Einstein further hypothesized that photon cannot be further divided. A photon can only be dealt as a whole. In the classical physics, it was believed, so previously, before all these observations of quantum physics, it was believed that electromagnetic theory, electromagnetic fields are real things. They are real energy. So whatever Maxwell equations describes are the real quantities. But when Einstein gave this theory about photons duality, then everything got muddled up. So people are not are now arguing that how an electron is a particle, or if it is a wave. So same thought came in the mind of three scientists: Max Born, Werner Heisenberg, and Pascal. So all these three scientists started to research on this same very topic. Like if we are saying photon is not a particle and a wave, what we can say about electron? Is it a particle? Is it a wave? What is the nature of the electrons? So they further researched and then found out that the same principle, the same theory we were applying to photons, can also be applied to the electrons and all the electron-like particles. So our conclusion to this whole discussion of quantum physics is uh, it gave birth to a unified quantum field theory, with the help of which we can explain any phenomena in the world. So every particle, that is photon, electromagnetic fields, electrons, protons, are the consequence or are the result of quantum field theory. They comes naturally as a consequence of this quantum field theory. So this quantum field theory is the basic theory that can explain any phenomena in the world till now, which it is applied to. Whichever field it is applied to, it can explain that. So that was the whole introduction of quantum physics that I have introduced here.